Hey everyone, Jan here, and I want to share some ideas on the concept of value. More specifically, undeniable value. I believe that true value is undeniable. So when you consciously focus on the value that you build for yourself and for the world, that people will see it and understand it and be able to, or at the very least, be magnetized toward it because there is value for them there. And as you do that, you might also receive some pushback. And I've gotten both encouragement and pushback in the last few weeks because I've been changing the way I talk about the value that I've built for myself and that I'm bringing to the world. So I want to share a few stories on this. And the first of which is when I was publishing comic books more in a more focused way. As a comic book publisher, creators would come to me all the time, pitching me ideas. And the ideas, the majority of which I had to say no to, were the ones that felt like the creator was in their own tunnel vision, their own world, and they were not seeing how their world can actually impact our world. So, and I see this not just across comic book creators, I see this in artists from all disciplines. I see this in musicians especially. You can, I mean, obviously music is the lowest hanging fruit for so many because that's me banging on that little bar. I just made music. Anybody can make music. And when you make music alone or when you create your art in a small space by yourself, especially if you don't have a lot of collaborators, it may sound small. It may feel small. And some people break out of that and most people don't from an industry perspective. So it's really interesting having to turn that same lens or put that hat on for myself as a creator and look at my work, which I've had to do, saying, am I building value for others through my work? And I can honestly say there was a point at which I wasn't. And when I was stuck in tunnel vision for my own work, and I want to be very specific with a project called Justice for Hire, where I was producing was still making, we're making books and making impact, but not the type of impact that I really, really wanted. And now that we've changed the way the Justice for Hire is positioned, changed the story, and now it's part of what I'm doing in my company, Real World, where it's a show, and the whole concept is making movies and shows with the world so anybody can star in them. Now the Justice for Hire is a story that is inclusive of other people's stories. There's value for the world, for other people, that's much more clarified versus here's a little comic book story that I wrote that's about the things that I care about, and maybe you care about them too. It's much more inclusive than that now. But I think that this applies to so many areas in life, because when you get tunnel vision on your work or tunnel vision on the way that you do something, that you might become threatened by other people's ways of doing it. And that's part of what I've experienced in the last few weeks as well, which is I'm sharing ideas. I've figured out new ways of sharing the value that I do in Tai Chi or with our film technology company, Real World. And I get a lot of encouragement, but it's the 10% of folks that are not as encouraging or might push back or might actually come with negativity that cause me to think deeply about how I'm doing something. And it's not because I'm affected by their negativity, like I don't want them to say that. It's more so that it causes me to ask myself questions. Am I truly building the value that I believe I'm building? Is it serving them? Are they the audience to be served? These are the questions that I have to ask myself because I've clarified the value. So I'm no longer questioning whether or not I bring value. The value is undeniable at this point in the projects that I've worked very long on. So Justice for Hire, clear value. Real World, clear value. My Tai Chi work, clear value at this point. So I strongly encourage everybody to, as a person, this coming from me as a person that has been in stages of my life where I was in tunnel vision of the value that of what I was working on and not really clarifying the value for the world. To really ask yourself the questions on what is the value proposition, as it's called in the startup world, to identify that value proposition for others, to say, hey, I am doing this because I feel it in my heart. and here's the value that can be presented to other people, and then really run with that message. Run with that message. And I've been doing that for several years now, and it's really changed my life. So I love you guys, and just sharing some thoughts with you. And to all the people that have pushed back in the last few weeks, thank you, because it really reinforces my confidence in the things that I'm doing. And to the majority of others that have massively been coming through with a lot of encouragement and love, I am always grateful for that. It is always uplifting. But like I said, look, pay attention to those people that might be pushing back, because in it there's a lot of I personally draw a lot of strength from asking myself those questions. So always ask yourself questions, good questions. Love you guys. I hope you have a great week.